Hey guys, I have you in the corner of my kitchen. We're like washing bottles and putting dishes away and stuff. I am going to start this video off with a quick tutorial on how to pump using a structured carrier. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. It's something like a 10-minute long clip. So I will put timestamps below in the description box if you want to skip that and just get to my postpartum update. But after that tutorial, we're going to be talking about baby and how I'm learning to cope with the newborn life. And we're going to be talking about diet and fitness and body stuff. And yeah, so if you are interested in catching all that, stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna film a tutorial to show you all how to pump using a structured carrier. I have a 2016 model Ergobaby 360. I don't know if these models have changed over the course of the past 6 years, but it's what I got. Also, I'm using a Spectra breast pump. This is an S1. It also works for the S2. It's kind of critical that you have a pump that you are able to attach something to. So I recognize that this might not work for Medela pumps or whatnot, but at least for pumps where you can attach something to like a handle or something like that, that's what I'm using for this tutorial. So the first thing you want to consider is if you think you're going to be pumping while baby wearing, you're going to want to make sure you use a nursing friendly shirt and a pumping or nursing friendly bra. I don't like pumping bras. I just use regular nursing bras, which I hack into pumping bras. I thought I would just take a minute to show you guys how to hack a nursing bra into a pumping bra because it's so simple and it will save you so much money. So first of all, you're gonna unclasp your nursing bra and you're gonna take those thin pieces and bring them into the center toward your cleavage. And then you're gonna center your flange over your nipple and then bring that thin piece over so it holds that part there. And then take the bigger part, pull it up there and clasp it. And you see how it just holds the flange in place? Repeat the process on the other side, and it's as simple as that. I filmed it a second time when I uploaded this to my Instagram channel, and it took me something like 16 seconds to do it. And, you know, here it is again, just as a demonstration. But pumping bras, I find, are so expensive and usually not all that practical. But a nursing bra, you can just wear as an everyday bra and make it serve you, however you need it. So that's what I'm doing in this case. I don't know how it would work with a pumping bra, but probably the same. I have my flanges, which PS, I use Maymom parts for my Spectra because I actually like the Medela stuff. These narrow neck bottles, they're not so heavy and bulky. You guys can see, just in case you're looking at this video and wondering what the heck is going on with my pump parts, I'm using Bogen cushions. I have elastic nipples, and so these really help keep my nipples from getting too drawn into the flanges. Anyway, so I'm not wearing a nursing tank top, but I'm just wearing like a flowy tank top that I'm able to expose my lady bits with on the sides. So that's what I got here. I have my pump. Typically, when I know I'm gonna need to pump while my baby is sleeping and I'm not gonna wanna dream feed, nurse him in the carrier, I will actually put this on before I put my baby into the carrier. But he has fallen asleep unpredictably on me, so I can't do that. So I'm gonna put this on with him already in the carrier. What I do is I've taken an old gym strap. It's just one of these gym straps with these clasps here. And it's adjustable. I have this already adjusted to the size I want it. I'm going to just loop it around my body like a sash. Okay, see, I just looped it in. I'm gonna clasp it, so. And what's critical for me when I pump in the carrier is that my pump sits right here at the small of my back. This is where I want it, because not only will the tubing then reach to my flanges when I connect them, but I'm able to move around without the pump being too low, banging on my butt, whatever, but it's low enough that I'm able to easily grab it, swing it around, adjust the settings throughout my pumping, and then just kick it back there. I am going to have to censor this video and blur out my nipples, so I'll try to make it so that you can see what I'm doing, but this is how you do it. I'm gonna come closer. The first thing you'll do is you wanna be able to toggle your breast through this part of the shoulder straps, okay? And the way I found to do that is I will support my baby, I'll hold him close to my body, and I will loosen this strap. See how I can keep him tight so I'm not waking him up, but I have created a little bit more room. I'm gonna move my shirt out of the way. I'm gonna bounce my baby so he doesn't wake up. So you will pull down this part of the nursing bra. You're gonna take this outside part, bring it inside, and as you're bringing it inside your breast, you're going to sort of grab your breast and pull it to the side, okay? You're really gonna want to expose it to give yourself a wide berth. I understand that this takes a little bit of time to learn, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that inner strap that I had pulled to the inside of my breast and I'm gonna loop it over the flange. Hopefully I don't need to censor this out. So do you see how it's there? It's holding this part. And then I'm going to take this part of my bra, pull it out and up, and I'm going to connect it, if I can, to the clasp up here. And now you've got a nice seal that's holding your flange in place. Then, while still supporting your baby, slowly tighten it to bring him back up into place. And now you've got your first flange on. And now we're going to repeat the process on this side. I'm going to support my baby. I'm going to loosen the strap, bring my shirt out of the way, unclasp. Oh my God, I'm leaking, oh my God. I'm gonna bring this loop in, put my flange on. I'm doing this fully one-handed now, so bear with me. Guess I do need two hands. Out and up, clasp, support my baby, retighten, adjust. So now I have both of these on. I'm going to untie my backflow protectors and tubing. Something I forgot to mention when I was talking about off-market products, these are long stem backflow protectors. The regular Spectre ones, the stem only comes to here. But if you're using Medela parts, especially Maymom, you need the long stem. You can also get adapters, but you need the long stem to fit into the like portal inside there. So stick it in. Now this one that reaches over here, I like to tuck the tubing up here and it sits nicely, right like that. And it goes right across baby's head. Conversely, I will put it under. Sometimes I will tuck the tubing under his foot here to keep it flush to my body. Anyway, I prefer to have it up there. So now I will loop this over, turn it on, and I'm pumping. Now, to make this public friendly as it can be with like a giant Spectre and this whole ordeal, I'm gonna show you guys. I have this gorgeous shawl. It's super wrinkly because I just took it out of the wash, but a shawl like this is amazing when you're pumping or anything in public. It's still bulky, but because you're baby wearing, you have like, you're already like out there, and it just sort of like conceals and covers things up. I mean, obviously you've got something going on here. It's not as glamorous as having those in-bra pumps, but I don't know if you can use wearables and baby wear at the same time. I've never tried. But anyway, this is how you do it. And I'm literally pumping as we speak. And little guy is sleeping. So that's that. Okay, so the last video I uploaded was a couple weeks ago, I think. And at that time I was 7.5 weeks postpartum. So today is Saturday, July 2nd. I think I'm like 8.5 weeks postpartum now. I don't even know. I'll put it on the screen. third baby problems. I have no idea how old he is, to be honest. In my last video, I was pretty salty and really bitter about recognizing that I cannot win the war of getting my baby to sleep in his crib during the day. So it was like really hot and humid the day I filmed that video, and I was just so bothered and so stressed out at the fact that I could not get this kid to nap during the day unless he was in the ergo. But since filming that, I have totally embraced this life. It has its challenges and its limitations, but there are actually some benefits to having him nap in the carrier all day long. The good is that I can literally choose his schedule. He's so easy. I'm trying to respect wake windows right now, and I'm only letting him be awake around an hour to an hour and a half at a time. And then I just pop him in the carrier. I walk 2 laps around our backyard while I nurse him in the carrier. He falls right asleep, and then I come into the house and I start my day. And basically, he will sleep in this carrier no matter what I do for as long as I want him to. I try to limit his naps to 2 hours. So like we do sleep for 2 hours, awake for an hour and a half, sleep for 2 hours, awake for another hour, hour and a half, that kind of thing. But there are times when I need to get things done, and I will just let him sleep, and he will stay asleep in this carrier for up to 6 hours. That's the longest I've let him go before I've woken him up. And also I work part-time for 4 hours, 2 days a week from home. And so on those days, I will do the routine and get him to go to sleep, and I'll just have him sleep those 4 hours in the carrier. And I will either sit on the birthing ball at my table and just bounce him around and work, or I'll stand here in the kitchen and just sway, and I'll use my countertop here as a working standing desk and get my work done that way. So, you know, I'm just making this situation work for me in my life. So it is convenient in a sense that I can make him sleep when I need him to. Like, everything is very predictable and easy for now in that respect. The downside, of course, is that I'm never, like, I have such limited time where it's just me on my body. So like, if I want to shower or something like that, you know, I have to do all those things in that small wake window where he's awake and in his bouncy chair, or, you know, I have him on the floor doing tummy time or whatever. Also, it's an incredible strain on my body. Even with an ergonomic carrier like the Ergo, my lower back still does get quite fatigued, and I'm having to constantly remind myself to do pelvic tilts to, you know, keep my body and pelvis sort of like in alignment. And it's very taxing on my hips, on my knees, and on my feet. Thank God for Crocs, because just like in pregnancy, Crocs are a godsend. It's like walking on clouds, you know. Otherwise, my feet are killing me when I'm bearing this weight all day long. And also, just pro tip, you guys, one of these things for pregnancy and postpartum, holy, this is the best £5 I've ever spent on Amazon UK in my whole life. This limits how much I have to bend over. Like I said, it's great in pregnancy, but also when you're baby wearing, you know, just the strain on your body and also just wanting to protect your baby. It is hell having to bend down all day long to get to the floor. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. There is on the floor all day long, and I'm constantly cleaning. So this has been a godsend, okay? So yeah, major pro tip here. But on my Instagram channel, I had mentioned how even despite my iron will, I have not been able to find time carved out in my day to be able to work out. And it's a little stressful for me because I see other women doing it, you know, and they have 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 kids, and they're still able, even at this early postpartum, they're still able to get their workouts in. And I just haven't been able to do it. And I felt really bad, and like I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, like, you're really slacking off, Megan, you know, you're not getting the thing done, you have these goals, like, why aren't you able to live up to those expectations when you've been able to under a lot of other really hard circumstances? What is it about this newborn life that I'm not being able to figure it out in my schedule? And I recognize now that it's not for lack of effort or an inability to do it. It's simply that I am prioritizing other things over working out. So to tie it back into baby wearing, I have learned to embrace this as living life wearing a 6-kilo weighted vest all day long. That is a workout in and of itself. And I'm getting my 10,000 steps in each day between like walking the dogs and just getting stuff done around the house and the farm each day. Like I'm getting those steps in essentially with 6 kilo loaded onto my body all day long. So that in and of itself is the workout. That and breastfeeding, like I'm not going to want to be straining my body at 8, 9, 10 weeks postpartum, more than that. But, you know, lifting and getting my form back and making sure I've got good strength is very, very important to me. So I have just learned to work out with this guy on. So in his wake times, I do make it a point that when I lay him down and he's doing tummy time on the floor or whatever, that I do some yoga, basic yoga, just to make sure I'm not stiff and compensating in weird ways in my back, my pelvis, my legs, that could put me at risk for being injured because I am baby wearing so much. And then I also make sure that at least once a day, I do a full core circuit. And I will do in that some heel slides, toe taps, dead bugs, and bird dogs. So those are like my main core things. And I will do 3 sets of each of those exercises just to make sure that not only am I working on my foundational core strength, but that I'm also making sure that my body is balanced and strong enough to be dealing with this situation long term. So another inconvenient thing about baby wearing him is that we have an incredible amount of work to do on the farm. And now I'm getting more into prioritizing and realizing that I was prioritizing things that are more important to me right now than specifically working out, because he will not let me really work on the farm when he's in this carrier. He does not like it when I'm bending over, and that's a ton of the work on the farm. Is like, we've got to weed, we've got to plant, we need to harvest. You know, there's so much work that needs to be done where I'm on my hands and knees. And I can't do it because he doesn't like it. And it's also, to be honest, really taxing on my body doing farm labor. Like, it's called labor for a reason with him on my body. Anyway, when I put him to bed at like 8:30 each night, because we're in the northern latitudes and it's the summer, we basically have daylight 24/7. So I will put him to sleep at 8:30 and then I will haul ass and run down to the farm, and I'll work until like 10:30 or 11 and just power work down there, because it's the only time of day where he's sleeping apart from me that I can go and get stuff done. And so that's the time I could be working out. If it was winter, that's the time I would be working out. I'd have like my setup inside the house and I just do an in-house workout. But right now I have to prioritize farm labor. So I am actually getting fitness into my day. It's just not the way I'm used to seeing it. And mentally, it makes me feel like I'm not doing the thing because I'm not with weights doing my structured workouts. I have been able to since feel so much better about my workout situation because I recognize that this is a full-on workout. So fitness is happening. It's just not in a Instagram friendly, fun way. But I do still get some like lifting in to work on my just basic foundational strength, even when he's sleeping like this, all throughout the day, when I'm bending over to pick things up, when I'm unloading the dishwasher, I will do 1 plate at a time and I will just make it a sumo squat, and I'll focus on my form. I'll focus on that clench in the glutes. I will deadlift when I'm picking things up. I'll make that a thing. If I'm picking things up on the floor and I don't want to use this picky uppy thing, I will do lunges and I will just do repetitions and I'll hammer it out. I'll, 12 things on the floor, I will pick each one up individually and make it a lunge so that at the end of the day, I know, okay, well, I did kind of get like a good workout in. In addition, I can, as long as his head is supported, I can do incline push-ups on my countertop. So I do like several sets of those when I'm cooking. I'll just crank out 3 sets of 12 incline push-ups. I have dumbbells in the house. And so I can do sets of regular bicep curls. I can do hammer curls. I can do a military shoulder press. I can do flies, and I can do tricep dips with the, tricep extensions with the dumbbell. I also have a weight plate that I can do it with. And again, like, have to be careful with the baby and his head, but these things are all occurring away from his head and body. So I don't feel like I'm risking anything there. I can get a full body workout weights wise with him in the carrier. So now, with that revelation, I realize, while it's not the way I want it to look, like I'm not going to my gym and filming it and being one of those people that I thought I would be, where I'm like, hey, look it, you can do this workout with a baby. Newsflash, the baby kind of chooses your lifestyle. And this is the lifestyle he has chosen for me. So I'm making it work. I haven't weighed myself in a while, and I will in a couple weeks do a video with him off of me so I can like document what my postpartum body looks like. I can do my measurements when I'm like really ready to go all in on this. But I am retaining weight. And I know that the rumor is that you will lose weight if you breastfeed. That is not the reality for me. And I know that's not the reality for a lot of other women. I know I'm active, I'm getting really good sleep, and I'm not tracking macros. So it might be diet, but I'm retaining weight. I weigh anywhere between 72.5 and 73.5 kilo right now. Pre-pregnancy, I was 64 kilo. I think my normal weight, because I had just ended a diet at that point, is like 66.5 kilo. So 66.5 is like my happy place. And I'm 72.5 to 73.5. I was 76.5 the day he was born. So I have really only lost a few kilos since he was born. I'm holding onto a lot of fluff, and you can see it. It's like, I have a lot of fat reserves on my body right now, which I'm fine with because I'm comfortable at this weight. It's not ideal. It's not where I want to be, but I'm comfortable. My clothes fit good enough right now that I'm not like really stressed about it. I don't feel comfortable in a bathing suit, and I will say that I am making excuses to not go to the lake because I don't feel good about myself right now. It's just, it's not the body I'm used to seeing and used to having. And I don't know. I just don't feel good about it, but I feel good enough to not be having a mental crisis about it. So anyway, I have been prioritizing my milk supply and breastfeeding over diet. That decision has been a choice. It's something I am willingly doing. But in a couple weeks, when I get to 12 weeks postpartum, I am going to start tracking macros. I'm going to decrease my carb intake and increase my protein intake and just get things balanced to where they were when I was pregnant and before pregnancy, because that diet really, really worked for my body composition. But like I said, in a couple weeks, I will come back. I will film another video. We'll take measurements. We'll do the postpartum body, this is how it looks situation. And then I'm going to dial in my diet and really start getting cracking on the diet end. So working out, physical activity, that's all there. It's diet that I need to key in. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to lose much of this weight. I will always prioritize my milk supply because for the first time ever in my whole life, I really am making enough milk now to sustain my baby. I do offer one formula bottle right now every other night. But let me tell you guys, over the past couple weeks, I made 2 changes, and I don't know if they are the reason this has happened, I don't know. But I am right now producing 10 ounces more milk in a 24-hour period than I was just a couple weeks ago. And the two things that changed were that I have been drinking 1 or 2 cups of tea made from this. It is spilling out of the box. It's fennel, anise, and cumin seeds that I steep into tea. And the other change that I made was I was drinking like 3.5 kilos of water. Yes, I did just say kilos of water, you guys. Oh my God. Of course I meant liters. And I was putting electrolyte tablets into it, thinking that this was supposed to help me. And then I just got so fed up with constantly being bogged down with water and I stopped buying the electrolyte tablets. And now I just drink intuitively, and I don't use these electrolyte tablets. And I have since read that too many electrolytes can potentially damage your milk supply, and drinking too much water can potentially damage your milk supply. Don't quote me, I haven't researched it. And as I talk about it, I realize I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna drink something right now. I don't know, you guys. All I'm saying is I stopped with the electrolyte tabs and started drinking this tea on the same day, and literally overnight my milk supply has exploded. I am constantly leaking, and the most beautiful, amazing thing of it all is I can fully pump to empty, 40-minute pumping session, and like 15-20 minutes later, if he wants to eat, there is milk there in my boobs that he will nurse and take. So not only is he nursing better now, I can nurse him now whenever I want. In just my last video, I told you guys, he will only nurse if I'm like full and leaking, right? If it's been like 3 or more hours between pumping sessions, or at night when he's going to sleep, or in the morning when he wakes up. Those were like the only times he would nurse. Now, you guys, I can nurse him anytime I want. It is unbelievable. I feel like a real breastfeeding person. I don't know, and the only things I can say is it was this tea, and it was not drinking so much, measuring all this water intake and putting all the electrolyte tablets in. I can say one other thing I did was I increased my intake of moringa leaf, but not by much. But I guess that's like another thing. I was taking like 4 capsules a day, and now I'm taking like 5. I don't think that had that big of a difference. But anyway, I still give him 1 bottle of formula at night, every other night, because I like to stay a couple bottles of milk ahead in the fridge. Otherwise, I'd be living bottle to bottle, and I don't want that stress. So I do still give him a little bit of formula, but prior to now, like when I filmed that last video just a couple weeks ago, I was giving him 2 formula bottles every night. And now I just give him 1 every other night. And the others, the other bottles are all my milk. So I am not going to jeopardize this situation that I'm in just for diet and exercise. If I just maintain this body for the next year, I'm good to go with that. It's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, but because breastfeeding is going so well, I'm willing to do it. But I don't see any harm in balancing my macros a little bit better, and yeah, being a little more intentional about my workouts and stuff. So that is the update. That's where I'm at right now. Things are going really good, and things are going exceptionally well in the nursing and breastfeeding department since I uploaded that last video. But really, it's just been a matter of embracing this napping situation and making it work for me instead of against me. So that is my update. Stay tuned, like I said, in a couple weeks when I do my postpartum body kickoff, whatever. I don't know, even if I don't lose any weight, at least I can gain muscle. If I'm gonna be in a bulking situation where I'm gaining or retaining weight, now is the time to be putting muscle on. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting him a little bit older, hopefully getting him into his crib for a daytime nap so that I can start actually lifting and progressively overloading eventually, because it would be nice to put on some muscle if this is the way it's going to be for the next year. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.